Okay, so welcome to another podcast. I had a completely different podcast lined up. However, something happened recently that kind of is taking the place of my other podcast, which I need more finessing with anyways to make it sound more human and not so not human. I don't want to sound like I'm reading off a script for my other video, podcast, whatever. So, here we go. So, great news. I got engaged. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. So, what I've been thinking about doing is having a journey with me to my wedding thing. I don't know what to call it. So, if I'm talking quiet in this video, it's because my 5-month-old is sleeping and we do not want to wake the sleeping baby. But I want to cover kind of what I've already got planned for my wedding, which is not a whole lot, and just talk about the extensive journey that it is to plan a wedding. The stuff that goes into it, the amount of money that goes into it. It's essentially just a party, right? It's a fancy party and a ceremony. But the ceremony isn't even majority of the part, but that's where the majority of the thought goes, if that makes sense. Like, everywhere, anything from how you're going to do your nails, your lashes, all the way to what you're going to cut a cake with, to how you're going to entertain guests, where it's going to be, and all of it costs so much money. So much money. Like, did you know that the average for a wedding is $30,000? What? Huh? Why? Why? I don't know why, but it is what it is. So, we don't have $30,000 for a wedding. So, I have been trying to figure out so many things. I've been watching all the YouTube videos. One person I've been watching in particular is Jamie Wolfer for all things wedding. I haven't actually watched very many other people, if any other people, about a wedding, about wedding stuff. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of thought. It takes a lot of coordination, organization, all the shuns. And I'm cutting out as much of that as I possibly can. Vendors, don't need it. I'm gonna... Ooh, I was gonna say raw dog, but I don't know if I should say that. I'm going to handle a lot of this myself. A lot of the planning. Is it gonna be stressful? Yes. Is it gonna be overwhelming? Absolutely. When is my wedding? As of right now, the date is in 1 year and 3-ish months. So, yeah, I have about 15 months to get this together, done, organized, all that stuff. If anybody is going through this with me, leave a comment down below how you're doing it. Do you have a planner? They have a name. Event coordinator, that's what they're called. Do you have one of those? Are you doing a big wedding? Are you doing a micro wedding? I'm doing a micro wedding. I didn't know I knew as many people as I did. As I do, I should say. So, the list started off with 20 people. It has now worked its way to about 39. So, you know, micro wedding is like 50 people or under. Still sticking to a micro wedding. I am not going to go above 50. I'm sorry. Can't do it. Won't do it. Costs too much money. Something that I am doing, it's on the top of my brain right now. I'm just going to kind of go what it comes to my mind, is a potluck. Like, you can get caterers and stuff like that. That's very normal to have, but that costs a lot of money. And if you have people bring food, then first of all, they're probably going to bring something that they love to eat, so most people will enjoy something. Not everybody has to be bringing food, but I plan on making a bunch of food as well, because I'm expecting a lot of people to bring like sides or sweets, things like that. So I'm going to try to make main dish kind of things. I haven't figured it out. Probably some sort of protein, multiple proteins. I haven't figured out what, because for some reason all that pops in my head is hot dogs and hamburgers. And like, could I have hot dogs and hamburgers at my wedding? Sure. But I don't feel like it's very wedding-esque. So, so I'm gonna be having a potluck. That saves on catering and having to order food and do all of that expensive stuff. So I'm gonna be having a potluck. That way, people will bring things that they enjoy eating. Most people are going to be guaranteed to have something that they like there. And that saves a buttload of money. Because catering is expensive. And then I'm going to provide things like, I'm going to have 2 types of alcohol, beer and wine. 2 types of wine. Not sure how many types of beer yet. But, probably just what the majority of the people that I know drink. And then there's going to be things like soda, juice, water. I'm in the South, so there's going to be sweet tea. Just things, things that people enjoy. That way I don't have to pay so much money. Yeah, a lot of this is going to be about how, so I don't have to pay a bunch of money. Because things are expensive, especially when they evolve around a wedding. A lot of people don't want to buy a secondhand dress because it comes with bad juju, and I was one of those people up until I watched one of Jamie Wolfer's videos where she said that she wasn't one of those types of people and she had a secondhand dress, and for some reason, apparently that's all I needed to hear. And I was like, okay, cool. I can do a secondhand dress for sure. I have no idea what style I want yet. I don't know what looks good on me. So that's what I'm going to be doing hopefully next weekend. No, this coming weekend. No. Next weekend. Oh my gosh, it doesn't even matter to you. Soon. Soon I'm going to be going and buying not wedding dresses, but just different types of dresses to see what I like, to see different necklines, sleeve lengths, things like that, and kind of figure out what I want before I go out and buy or even look at actual wedding dresses. Who knows, maybe I'll find a wedding dress while I'm not expecting to find a wedding dress. So that I'm honestly really excited for. I'm really short though, which makes me really nervous that I'm not going to be able to find a wedding dress that's going to fit for me. I feel like I'm going to need lots of hemming no matter what I get. So there's that. And also, I need to find shoes, which I'm a tiny shoe size. And granted, I want to wear heels for like the ceremony, but then for the reception, I'm probably going to be wearing some sort of comfortable shoe. Whether that's sneakers, whether that's flats. I might wear flip-flops if it's hot. Don't know. I do love to walk around in flip-flops. Honestly, flip-flops and slippers are the 2 main things that I wear. So I have a pair of tennis shoes that I wear when I have to wear closed-toed shoes that aren't slippers. So that's my plan for the dress. I have no idea what I'm going to figure out for shoes. Honestly, look, I know it's not good to order from fast fashion places such as Wish, Temu. Quality can be really hit or miss, mostly miss. However, those are the only types of places that sell heels in shoe sizes small enough to fit me. Understand, I'm a size 4 in heels. If you know of any place that isn't fast fashion that has size 4 heels, let me know. Like, not kid heels. I don't want little kid looking heels. I don't want like short little, no, heels. Heels, like nice. Something you would wear with your wedding dress kind of heel. That's what I'm looking for. So that hunt is going to be a whole thing of itself. And then you have to entertain your guests at a wedding. So what I've thought of for that so far, because photographers are expensive. Like, if I was going to put money anywhere, I would love to get a photographer, but I don't have thousands of dollars to do that. But I do know a couple of people in the family that are really good with taking pictures. And so I'm going to have 2 designated photographers who are going to be taking pictures. You know, like, they're going to be the ones that I'm going to depend on to take pictures. But then beyond that, I'm going to have it to where, you know, people take your pictures, you know, take pictures with yourself of important moments. If you, you know, if you see a group of people that are really happy, snap a picture of them. And then further beyond that, I'm going to have, because you have to entertain your guests, right? I'm going to have photo bingo. Okay? Now, I'm kind of really excited about this because everybody's going to get a bingo card, and the center, like the free spot, is going to be just take a picture of yourself with the people you came with. That's easy, that's simple, just done, right? But then there's going to be other things like take a picture of the bride walking down the aisle, or take a picture of the during vows, or, you know, if you see, you know, kids running around playing, go ahead and try to snap a picture of them. If you see a group of people smiling and laughing, take a picture of them. If you're feeling really happy, if you're feeling really happy, take a picture of that moment. And then I'm going to have a Facebook page where I'm going to have everybody upload their pictures to it. That way we can get all the pictures, and we can, you know, we can have all of them, and then pick the best ones that we like and get them printed out, or, you know, we can just save them, you know, do whatever. So that's my way around a photographer. Is it going to be high quality photographer photos with the editing and all of that? No. But is it the best that I'm going to be able to do with the circumstances I'm in? Absolutely. And it can be fun for the guests because it's a game. I have no idea, like, if they win bingo, I have no idea what the prize is, because this isn't something that like only one person will win. You know, if like it was something that one person would win, it's like, okay, $50 is the prize, but I'm not going to give $50 to like 30 people, you know? Like, that's a lot. I want to also have like board games. I want to get like a really big whiteboard with a bunch of markers. Kids can go up and draw on it, or people can leave messages, or people can play tic-tac-toe, or whatever they want to do with the whiteboard during the reception while people are dancing. If they don't want to be out dancing or whatever, they can be, you know, doing something on that, or chit-chatting with other people. So that's kind of where I'm at with entertainment. Granted, I got engaged, was it 3 days ago? I think it was 3 days ago. So I'm still in the very early beginnings of getting all of this figured out. So everything is very much rough draft right now. Like, I do know that my colors are going to be burgundy and navy with white accent. I think that's going to be really nice. So the bridesmaids are going to be in burgundy. I always say grooms. The groomsmen are going to be in navy with burgundy accents. And I always wanted a different colored wedding dress. I always thought I was going to be like, oh, like a red wedding dress or a black wedding dress. Come to find out, I'm a white wedding dress chick. I'm one of the basics, but that's okay because that's way easier to find. So, I don't know if I'm going to want like white with like some sort of burgundy accent, or if I'm just gonna want navy accent, or I don't know. Another thing I do know is that I'm gonna be getting my flowers. I'm gonna be using Sola wood flowers. If you don't know what Sola wood flowers are, Google it. Sola wood flowers. Amazing. So I'm gonna be using those, and I'm gonna be doing that for like, that's where I'm getting like all my floral stuff. That's what I'm planning on using, because then I can save things for later. I don't plan on doing like a throwing the bouquet or anything like that. I kind of want to keep it. I'd like to keep it. Call me selfish, but it's not. I don't want to throw my bouquet and then it break into a billion pieces. No, thank you. Also, I don't know who would be there that would be like ready to get married, like, and I saw this point in a video scrolling on Facebook, but somebody had brought up how like they didn't really like the throwing of a bouquet because it kind of points out all the single ladies and that they're single, and maybe they don't want to be single, but they are, and that's pointing them out. Maybe they don't want to be pointed out, so whose business is it that they're single? Nobody's. Now for a venue, I'm not doing a regular venue where you go and you pay, you put it down a deposit and do all that. I want to do a yard wedding. However, I don't know anybody who has a yard or house big enough to accommodate such an event. So I'm looking into one place right now that, and hopefully will work out. If it doesn't, there's this other place that I'm gonna be looking into that my fiance's best friend and his wife had their baby shower at, and I love it. It was really cute, and yeah, I just feel like that it's kind of like a barn situation. I like it. I don't know. I want something simple, something outside. I never really was one to go for a church, but because I always thought church weddings were like really freaking expensive. I thought you had to pay like out the butt for one of those places. Apparently not. So maybe that is something I'm gonna look into. Kind of just exploring all the options right now when it comes to where it's gonna be. But I want to get that figured out in order to know how I'm gonna set up the tables. Because I need to know how to set up the tables, but I need to know what the area is gonna look like. So that's kind of important. Another way that I am planning on kind of saving some money by because I'm not doing catering. So when it comes to what people are going to eat off of, it all boils down to me getting it. And now I really wanted to do white dishes. But then I had the thought, somebody's gonna have to clean all those white dishes. Honestly, that's not even a big deal because dishwashers exist. But then where are all those dishes gonna go afterwards? To storage? I can give people some dishes for sure, but who's gonna want 50 plates? What am I gonna do with 50 white plates? So Actually, sorry, it wouldn't be 50. It would be... Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to get 100. It would be 150. 150. Because you have to think, there's dinner, there's dessert, and there's cake cutting. So everybody's gonna need a plate for each thing. And all the utensils. So, what I've thought about is that for dinner, we're gonna use, white glass plates or acrylic. Not acrylic. You know what I'm talking about. Ceramic. Haha. We're gonna get ceramic plates for dinner, but then for cake cutting and desserts, we're gonna get some sort of, sturdy, good throwaway paper plates or something like that, and plasticware for that. Because let's say somebody drops a plate, that's a lot. That's a lot. So that's too many ceramic plates to do all of that. So we're gonna stick to paper plates for sweet stuff, and dinner is gonna be nice sturdy plates, because more than likely you're gonna have like heavier stuff on it as well. So, or if people wanted to, they can scrape off their ceramic plate and reuse it for their dessert. So there's going to be options if people want to reuse the ceramic plates, or if they feel like getting a paper plate, they are more than welcome. When it comes to who I'm inviting to my wedding, it has been like, there was obviously at first, like, it was like easy, like, oh, we're inviting this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, duh, we're inviting these people. And I got to a list of about 20, and then about 9 more people have been added on since then. I've noticed that I've turned sideways. Can you tell I'm like hiding from like all of this? Oh gosh, there's just so much. There's so much when it comes to a wedding. There really is. There's so much to plan for a wedding. Like, from like who's gonna do the makeup for the bridesmaids and bride. At my best friend's wedding, I did her makeup. I'm totally fine with doing my own makeup. That way, if it comes out not great, nobody else is to blame, and I can't get mad at anybody but myself. So there's that for sure. I know how I'm going to be doing my hair. I can't say it in this video though, because my fiance is editing this video. But it's going to be nice. I'm excited for it, honestly. I am going to have to do like a couple of test runs on it to see how well it's going to do. And like, I'm going to have to try it out and see if it actually looks good like it does in my head, if I'm going to be able to accomplish the look that I'm going for. But I'm excited for it, and I think he's going to really love it. At first I was, sorry, I know I switched topics so quick. It's because I kind of just spew what comes to my brain. But there's usually like the father-daughter dance. Well, my dad, he passed away when I was 15, so he's not going to be around for that, unfortunately, as much as I would absolutely love to do a father-daughter dance with him. But I was thinking about doing one with my mom. Now, her husband is going to be who's walking me down the aisle. That in itself has been a journey. At first, I asked my best friend if she would walk me down the aisle and kind of hand me off, because I wasn't talking to my mom during that time. But then I started talking to my mom, so then I asked my mom, and my mom was like, well, hey, wouldn't you want, so-and-so to do it? And I was like, sure. Sure. He's done a lot of things for me. He's really been there for me. So, yeah. And then today I went over there and I got to ask him, and he was like, yeah, I'd love to. And I was like, Sweet. And then I asked him if he would want to do a first look, which he's like, I don't know what that is. And I was like, well, you can't know what I'm wearing for the wedding. You can't, so Mom, you can't show him the dress or anything like that. Not my hairstyle or, no telling him. And then, you go somewhere and then I walk and turn around and I walk in and then you turn around and you see what I look like. And it's, usually photographed. Your reaction is, and so he's totally down to do that also. And then I'm gonna see if my fiance's dad also wants to do it, because I think that would be kind of cool to have both dads have their first look. The reason why I'm not doing moms or sisters or anybody female is because I'm not going to be able to stop myself from being like, and also if they're in the bridal party, then they're going to be with me while I'm getting ready. So the first look wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Like my mom's probably going to be there with me. His mom's probably going to be there. My best friend is going to be in there with me. She's part of the bridal party. I don't have a whole lot of friends, so all of my friends are going to be in the bridal party. I have like three people that are going to be on my side. My fiance has 4, maybe 5. So I was like, I need to find a couple of friends so that everybody has somebody to walk down the aisle with. Otherwise there's gonna be 2 dudes locking arms, or they're gonna be walking by themselves. No, but yeah, so a lot of exciting stuff. And honestly, I've been really into this wedding planning and stuff. However, I know that I go really hard really fast, and then I get really burnt out and don't even want to think about it ever again. So I'm trying to kind of chill out a bit so that I can maintain that energy for it, rather than go balls to the walls and then never want to think about it again. And then who knows when it would happen. My fiance is not going to get any of this done, so it would have to be me. So I don't know how I'm going to end up doing my makeup. I don't know how I want it to look exactly. I don't ever wear foundation, so I feel like on my wedding day, I'm probably not going to wear foundation, because if I do, it'll look cakey, it won't look good, and yeah, sure, I could practice up until then, but then that's more makeup that I have to worry about smudging on my dress, or, if I get some food on my face, I'll just stick to brows, lashes, eyeshadow, lipstick, maybe some blush, maybe some eyeliner. I may not even do eyeshadow. I might just do eyeliner because I love how I look with like some just like winged eyeliner and some nice lashes. Yes, simple it is for me. I might go ham on some jewelry. I have my ears pierced. I have 2 pierced on this side, 3 pierced on this side. But my face, I'm going to take out my lip rings, I think. And I'm probably going to take out my septum, because I don't want pictures where it's uneven, because that will annoy the crap out of me. So I might just leave this side in and then take the rest out. And yeah, that way it's minimalistic as well. In the future, if I want to look back, I won't be like, ugh, those lip rings look really tacky. I can just be like, oh, look at that. The thing though will be that you'll be able to probably see the holes in my face, but that's okay. They won't be as noticeable as 2 bright blue dots or hoops. So, because I don't know how elegant you can get with some lip rings in. Like, sure, they look cute, but I don't know. So that's my jewelry plan. I don't know what I'm gonna do for I don't know if I'm gonna want any rings on at all. Probably not. I think I'm gonna want no rings except for... Do you wear your engagement ring? Engagement ring? Do you wear... Do you wear your engagement ring when you get married? I'm gonna have to look into that. I don't know. If you know, leave a comment. Let me know, because I need to know if I should do that. Anyways, I guess I can show you. This is what it's looking like. I feel like that's not very clear. I don't know. Oh gosh, everything's backwards. I don't know how well you can see that. Anyway, it's Tanzanite. So it is subject to change because I am klutzy and it is a soft gem. So subject to change, but I don't want to change my wedding ring. Once it's my wedding ring, I want to keep it as that. So that I'm going to have some more like... I don't know, I'm going to be more strict on, I guess. Just because I don't want to have to change it. I think that about covers it for my plans so far for this wedding. That's in 15-ish months. I'm really excited. I get really nervous, but I'm also really excited. It's one of those things that I keep imagining it in my head, but not having a place yet for exactly where it's gonna be kind of inhibits my vision. So I think once there's a place set in stone and there's a dress, then everything might kind of click for me a little bit more. It might kind of feel more real. So I'm excited for that. I'm also really nervous. Like, I'm not nervous, like, to get married to him. I mean, him and I have been together for 10 years already. We got together in 2015. So, pretty sure, you know, we're good. If you want to know who it is, you can look up his channel here on YouTube. It's Gaming with Goody. Ironically, he doesn't have very many games on there. It's more like, I know he has a computer review video. I think some stuff just showing off his setup and stuff, but he hasn't done an updated setup review with the nice table desk I've gotten him. But yeah, so that's my fiance, Gaming with Goody. AKA Mark. So yeah, of course our oldest little girl is gonna be the flower girl, and traditionally the ring bearer is supposed to be a little boy. However, we don't have a little boy, so our youngest daughter is gonna be the ring bearer. I have their dresses picked out, and my older daughter is going to be wearing a burgundy dress. She got really excited because the shoes she's wearing have a little bit of a heel to them. She's going to feel so adult and fancy. She watches Fancy Nancy a lot, so she'll be like, I'm Fancy Nancy. And our younger daughter, she's going to have the navy blue dress and a navy blue headband. I don't know why I'm saying navy blue. It is just navy. Navy is blue. And then she's going to also have cute little shoes because she's going to be running around by then, which is crazy to think about because she's not even sitting up yet. She's rolling over, but she's not even sitting up. So it's crazy to think that she's going to be walking around at that point. Insane. But also very exciting. So, yeah. The color of the chairs. I have chairs and tables selected to rent out. The chairs, it was kind of a toss-up because there was mahogany wood, which both my fiance and I love mahogany wood, but I opted for the white ones because I don't know if the mahogany would be too dark along with the burgundy and navy, because burgundy and navy are dark as is. So I went with white because white's going to be the accent color anyways, and I feel like white could be a little more involved. I have table runners that are going to have like white flowers on it, and then just like navy and burgundy flowers kind of strewn about on the tables. I think it's going to be really pretty. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing for the centerpieces of the tables yet, but I guess I do have some sort of an idea. The bouquets that the bridesmaids are going to be holding will then be centerpieces for the tables. That's another way I'm saving money. Again, a lot of these tips I have learned from Jamie Wolfer on YouTube. So if you're engaged and looking for a event coordinator, wedding planner, whatever you want to call them, and you just need somebody that kind of can lead you in the right direction, I suggest looking up her videos. She does a lot of ones for on a budget, ways to save money, tips on with vendors and stuff like that, so that you're not like putting a deposit down and then having to cancel and not get it back. Ways to make sure that your wedding day goes smoothly, so that way you're not trying to pay vendors on your wedding day and do all the things. So anyways, there's a lot that she covers, so I definitely recommend looking her up. So yeah, like it's crazy how different I'm seeing things now. Like before I got married, I was like, oh, I'm gonna want a red or a black dress. I'm gonna be different. I don't want the white. It's too basic. Bah. Now a colored dress, I'm just like, what color would I get? What freaking color would I get? Black? Yeah, I love black dresses, but I don't think it would look good on me. It would make me look shorter probably, and I don't want to look any shorter than I already am. Like that's another thing, is the type of dress that I have to get because I'm so short. Like granted, yes, I could wear absolutely any freaking dress that I wanted to. However, I want to look my best as well as feel my best, because if I'm looking my best, I'm going to feel my best. So I've been thinking about maybe the mermaid style wedding dress. I have to look more into it though and make sure that that's the type of dress that I was looking at earlier. I've literally only seen a couple of pictures of it, so I don't know if that's exactly what I was looking at or not, but if it is, that's what I'm thinking I'm going with, because it's tight around like the torso and then kind of flares out at the bottom, but it's not so low that it's like flaring out at the bottoms of my knees or something. So yeah, lots of planning to do, and I cannot guarantee an update podcast except for maybe after marriage. Who knows? Eventually I might want to do an updated podcast about this. However, it depends on, basically going to depend on my mental energy that I have to talk about it. So yeah, I'll probably definitely want to do an update once I pick the dress. However, I just realized I talked about what kind of dress. I don't have a dress planned. My fiance edits these videos, so I can't really talk about good stuff. I can't give the details unless I want it to be an unedited podcast, which I could do, but I feel like they're not as fun to look at. I don't know how I'm gonna do my nails. I think I want to do like basic French tip nails. Ooh, with some like burgundy and navy accents, but what would I do? Hearts? Bows? I'm gonna have to think about that. Anyways, I think that is about all that I have for this. I am well past my bedtime. It is after midnight, and I usually like to go to bed around 8 to 10. No, not 8. Sorry. See, I'm tired. 9, 10. Because I go to bed when my children go to bed, so that I can be up when my children get up. All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with me and learning about my engagement and my wedding venture that I have planned so far. If you guys have any tips for any of this stuff, go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you have any questions, also leave a comment down below. I will try to remember to leave a link to Jamie Wolfer's YouTube channel. I will leave a link to Gaming with Goody's YouTube channel as well, because why not, you know? And yeah, I think that ought to do it. All right, guys, till next time, bye.